He approached it cautiously and peeked under the door. He couldn't see any face. It was someone without any face.
He could see the pads of the...
There was just a person with no feet. What's wrong, Charlie? asked Zeke. Charlie gently pushed open the door. It slowly creaked open to reveal...
demanded, hoisting me by the front of my shirt. Help! I screamed. Help! His gloved hand clapped over my mouth. I fought and squirmed, but it was no good. He dragged me back the way I'd come, towards the sagging front porch of his house. Don't question my methods.
I was worried because normally you're very neat, and I was like, oh, fuck, has that happened?
Oh, you've not seen my bedroom.
She'll take... Welcome
to
episode
75
of Ghost
Huns
with
Susie
and
Hannah
yes.
Hannah
That was
Bitchkovsky.
stunning, wasn't it? That's almost like we've practiced and prepared.
Oh, we are very prepared Huns. Actually.
Well, luckily for you, we're back-to-back recordings, and there's no fucking introduction.
Oh no, there is. There is.
Go on.
No, I don't have it. On the spot.
Don't have any talking points. Do I have any talking points?
Actually, I do.
Go on.
Well, I was having a shower.
Feels
on
like you're
Sunday,
just making this up on the
having a
dot.
shower, and then I was like, "Oh my god, I got a lump in my boob," and I honestly lost my fucking mind. And also, everyone, check your boobs.
Got very lumpy tits, me.
Well, this is the thing, and I was like, I don't know what's normal anymore because if you don't touch them enough, you don't know what the fuck's going on. So then I fucking freaked, and I was like, I had to go and meet my mate Deeps, met her new boyfriend, and that.
Oh my God, that is information I need to know.
Yeah. Lovely guy.
Gorge.
Absolutely lovely. Who we had a right laugh. He was great. And but I was like, I think I'm dying. And then Deep said, do you know what? A good friend is someone who will go, I'll film for you. So two of my mates, when I told them this, were like, oh, look, I'll meet up with you. I'll have a feel. Let's do this together. And I was like, that's so nice. So then she had a cop to feel in the pub loo. She was like, I can't tell, mate. She's like, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm looking for. And then
I was just going to say, of course anybody will feel your lump. But does anyone really know what they're looking for?
Yeah, well, and then my other mate was like, actually, in like school education, what we should have is like bags, like boobs, like replicas, and like if there is a lump, to have one built in, to know what's lumps and what's normal. That is such
a good point.
Because my mate has felt her friend's like actual lump, and she was like, "You can fucking tell."
Oh, and it's a cancer lump.
Yeah, well, it turned out to be benign, but they did cut it out.
But it was enough to go. Yeah, that's something.
And she was like, "You knew."
I've got a very lumpy part of the boob.
Yeah.
And when I felt it, I went, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's
I'm
it.
fucking
Did
dead.
you go to the doctor?
Yeah, immediately. And then every time I go to the doctor now, I'm like, just check my tits. Because they were like, no, you've got very lumpy breast tissue.
Yeah, and it's usually that. So no one freak out.
And I'm really upset because, like, giving them a little squeeze, they feel quite good. But when you really delve in.
But that's the problem when you delve in. And anyway,
I got some big titties.
Yeah.
So
they've got,
beautiful.
They're like, where do we begin?
Where do we start? There's 7 hands here.
Yeah.
So go on. You went to the doctor.
Went to the doctor, and then this really lovely doctor, she was so nice, right? Put me at ease. She was like, right, go behind the curtain. She's like, I've got Harriet here, who's our chaperone. And I was
pluck
like,
your nipples, pluck your hairs out your nipples.
Harriet, the chaperone, looks like every single girl I went to school with in one. Every one of them. And I was like, I know her. And she looked at me like this.
What, because you were going?
I don't know. I felt like I recognised her. And I recognised the chaperone.
Awkward, isn't it?
And I was like, the chaperone's going to see my nipples ASAP.
Yeah.
And then she did. She had to come around the curtain. I was sat upright with my Hay Harper necklace on, tits out.
Yeah.
I think I looked quite good, actually. But Harriet, the chaperone, was like, she looked dead awkward. And I was like...
It's because you're like this.
Eyeing her up, being like, where are you from?
You're like...
I think she might be a ghost hun in the wild.
Imagine that. That would be so funny.
But I don't know.
Tits out.
Yeah, but then she gave me a one over and she said, I'm going to get you in for a scan.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so that's next week. So I'm shitting myself about
No, you'll be
that.
fine. Also, let me tell you now, if it is a form of cancer, that like breast is the best one, I think, to get. Apparently,
breast is best.
Well, I think it's just because it's easy to kind of like
take
chop
out.
off.
Yeah, maybe I'll just
you'll get a little cheeky boob job on the.
Yeah, just you know what, lop them off.
Yeah, lop them off.
I've always liked the you know, like how like chic French women don't have tits.
Oh, me too.
I like that because it's like
Yeah.
they walk around like little sort of.
I know, it kind of depends what's fashionable, doesn't it? Because I usually, well, I still do like my boobs, but like I find them quite
Clavage.
comforting. Yeah, the clavage. But yeah, it is like you just got like a
It's a
little
choice,
nipple.
isn't it? But like, I'm fuck it if that's my future.
You just got to embrace whatever
Also,
you've got
like,
going on.
you know, I just need that scan to happen, and then I can be like, it was like us with
Yeah.
our cervical smears. Get your smears done.
I've
Get
got
your
to go
smears
and have
done.
that done,
Go
actually.
smearing.
Yeah, I was due in April. Sorry, March. It's now the 19th of
Hannah, it's
April.
not good enough.
Well, I did go and have my vag checked. Do you remember? Oh, straight in. I did go and have that checked. So she wasn't too
true.
concerned, but I'm going to go and have a swab. Anyway, okay, so shall we
Right.
do tarot?
Oh, yeah.
Could you
It's
tarot?
My turn.
Would you like to tarot, please? And I'll get myself a little story ready for you. Tarot, please, tarot. Tarot, please, tarot.
You. Oh my god. It's fucking amazing.
What is it?
Oh my god. Hannah, this is the card that I have picked because it is the Star. And tits are out. We've just
Tits
spoken.
out! Fuck!
This is a blonde woman with her titage out.
That's amazing.
With a fucking star above her head pouring water into a
Right,
pond.
I'm going to do Biddy Tarot.
Oh my god, she's holding 2 jugs. We've just been talking about jugs.
Jugs, just non-stop chat about jugs.
I think this is a really comforting tarot
I
card
think
to
that's
get.
going to be great. Yeah,
It's
that's really
jugs
nice.
everywhere. Guys.
Jugs out, tits out, whatever. Where do I fucking...
Oh my god, I love that. What does it mean?
I'm trying to find it on Biddy
Star.
Tarot.
You've got the book.
Yeah, but that's shit, isn't it?
Yeah, but go on.
Is that part of the major arcana?
Major arcana, yeah.
Which way did you pick? Did you do it up,
Straight up.
straight up?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
So it means the star represents faith, hope, and promise. Faith, hope, and promise. It symbolises guidance that comes from our highest form of intuition.
Do you think my boobs
Don't
will be
really know
okay?
what that means. Yeah, your boobs will be fine.
Oh,
that means-
it's faith and hope. I've got faith
Yeah.
in my tits.
Yeah, keep faith in your tits.
Oh,
But why does that star have a skeleton?
that's really fucking creepy.
That's scary, isn't it?
Anyway,
we'll just ignore that.
Okay.
No, that's really good. That's really
I
good.
really
Titties
like
out.
that.
That's weird. That is weird.
Yeah.
Did it have a necklace on?
What?
Did it have a necklace on?
I don't know. No,
I don't think
she's naked by
I
the
don't
pool
think
of-
I'd look great. Just I've never thought. I mean, I need a bit of. You know what I mean? I think they're quite perky for big tits, but
You've got
they
very
still need a bit
perky.
of. They still need a bit of. Do you know what I mean? Still need a bit of support. Bit of support, mate.
Yeah. We
Bit
all,
of support,
we all need a
mate.
bit of support.
We all need a bit of fucking support.
Shall I do part 2 of the bird story?
Oh yes, go on.
So, if you joined us last week, there was a story about a crow who's going to take this girl to find her friend Madison.
Lovely, yes, please.
So, this is part 2. There was only one thing left to do. I had to go and find Madison myself.
Yes.
The next day was a Saturday, and my parents usually slept in on weekends, meaning I'd have at least a few hours before they'd come searching for me. Playing with fire, this kid.
Can we just have a little tiny recap of what happened?
So,
Last time.
basically, this girl, her friend Madison, who was like, the crows are so intelligent, they remember names, they bring you gifts.
Yes.
And she realised when her friend Madison went missing,
She's
she
crazy
thought,
crow lady.
maybe if I keep saying the word Madison to these crows, they'll go, "Caw!"
Oh,
and
they'll go
fly a
find
bit
her.
further and further and take her into where Madison is.
Gorge.
So she's going to look for her missing friend.
Yeah.
I got up early and slipped my shoes and coat on and went out. The faint red and pink of dawn spread through the sky as the sun rose behind the trees. As usual, fucking look at that. That looks like a fucking sunset.
Yeah, it does.
As usual, I bought some food for the crows. I'd even tried to make a necklace of their gifts to me, though I wasn't as artistic as Madison. I saw several crows in her yard waiting for me. I told them good morning and scattered peanuts for them and said Madison's name several times loudly, and then I crossed the yard and went into the woods, taking the route the crows had shown me before. Crandall's house was a good hike away, and it took some time before I at last arrived in the right area. As soon as I saw the dilapidated beige siding, I slowed, suddenly very aware how loud my crunching steps through the fallen leaves were. A few crows watched me. I didn't even know if these were Madison's crows or different ones. The woods were full of them this time of the year. I didn't see the ragged tail feathers of the only one that I could recognise, the one Madison called Agatha. But even if they were different crows, it still made me feel better to have them around, and I touched the necklace for good luck. Carefully, keeping one eye on the door to the house, in case the staring man should step outside, I began to search. I looked up. Dishevelled tail feathers. As hunched as ever, Agatha watched me from a branch, cawed, and took off. My heart raced. I followed the bird. We ventured deeper into the woods around the house, and finally, it perched on an old fallen log. The soil nearby had been disturbed. I could see even with all the leaves all over, and the crow was pecking at something. A faint spark of light. A soda tab, I realised. A soda tab with a bit of wire looped through it. The blood pounded in my ears so hard it was like a roar, a rushing waterfall cascading through my veins.
Why does Madison really like pop?
Do you remember she made a charm bracelet
out
of the gifts?
Right, I was like, God, she fucking loves Pepsi.
Yeah.
Loves a Diet Coke.
I could hear nothing but that sledgehammer of my heartbeat ringing through my ears like a gong as I reached forward, a shaking hand, and pulled from the leaves Madison's charm bracelet. Then I squatted and began to dig through the soil with the crow perched just above me on the dead tree, watching me. Sudden cawing behind me, all around me, a series of short, sharp caws. The crow on the log, Agatha, opened her beak to cack at me and fluttered away.
To cack at me?
Hey! Icy slammed. Ice. Ice.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ice slammed into my veins at the sound of the deep voice. I jumped, whirling around, and a rough hand grabbed me. The staring man. His eyes were hard, glittering, bluer than the sky. They might have been pretty eyes if they hadn't been so cold in his stubbled, red face. "The fuck are you doing on my property?" he demanded, hoisting me by the front of my shirt. "Help!" I screamed. "Help!" His gloved hand clapped over my mouth. I fought and squirmed, but it was no good. He dragged me back the way I'd come, towards the sagging front porch of his house.
Mental.
"Shut the fuck up!"
Mm.
he yelled. At first I thought he was yelling at me, then I realised he was yelling at the crows. We were nearly at his front door when a very loud caw sounded nearby, and the man swore as a flutter swept overhead. His grip on me loosened, then released as he stumbled back to swat at something that flew right into his face. I scrambled and ran. Behind me, the man lunged for me, but the crows were darting in and out, dive-bombing him, and he tripped. I bolted all the way home. I got lost on the way, and for a little while I was wandering around the woods. Finally, I made it to my house and burst in, screaming at Mum and Dad to call the police. When I told the cops about the bracelet, they asked me to show them where. But the woods all looked the same to me, and when I led them back to Crandall's house, without the crows, I couldn't find it. We searched all over. No bracelet. The officers seemed to think I was making the whole thing up. They did interrogate Crandall. He admitted he found me on his property, digging through the leaves, and said he'd grabbed at me to try and bring me home.
Crandall's a very, sociopathic name, innit? Crandall.
Crandall, yeah. He also added that I was a nuisance and that he wanted a restraining order to keep me and other kids off his land.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, Crandall.
I'm on Crandall's side now.
Yeah. From the trees above, the crows watched, and they watched as my parents took me home. I locked myself in my room and cried into my pillow all night because nobody believed me, which meant Madison's disappearance will forever remain unsolved. To this day, her disappearance is a cold case. I never recovered the bracelet. Either it's still lost in the leaves or Crandall disposed of it.
Oh.
I know that's not a happy ending like I mentioned at the beginning. No one believed me back then about the crows. Madison was right, though, about their gifts. The birds don't bring trash. They're very judicious in the gifts they select. And I know this because a couple of days after the incident with Crandall, I was sitting outside, moping at her window, and the crows brought me a gift to make me feel better. I wiped the tears from my eyes and saw through my blurry vision they'd left something on the windowsill. At first it looked like a pair of misshapen marbles, each mostly white with a splotch of blue, bright as the sky.
Oh, God.
Long
Lynn!
long red tails dangled from the gloppy things. As my teary vision cleared, I gasped. Eyes. Human eyes.
Fucking hell.
I flushed them down the toilet so the birds would not be blamed.
Why?
Since then, I keep every one of their gifts, each precious charm worn
It's
around
like
my
bits
neck.
of think, isn't it?
Like each precious charm worn around my neck like a blessing. They pecked out Crandall's eyes.
Hang on.
Yeah, because remember she
Hang
described
on.
his eyes bright blue like the sky. They've brought her a gift. What they're saying is,
Crandall did kill her.
yeah, and the birds have gone, we fucking went for him. They murdered him.
Oh, right. So now she's just wearing all of his body parts around her neck. That's going to get pretty crowded.
Yeah, yeah.
She's like a leg.
I think this is Lynn's origin story.
Oh my God, that's Lynn.
Yeah, so this girl is Lynn, and she's collected her first eyes
Oh my
from
God.
the crows, who have been like,
The
"Oh!"
origin of Lynn.
Yeah, actually, Lynn was a good girl once. Because she was like, my friend Madison,
Yeah.
and these crows have gone, do you know what? We're going to bring
Yeah.
you Crandall's eyes.
What was Lynn's husband called?
Amazing. Oh, I can't remember.
Paul or something like that. Paul and Lynn, that sounds right, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Wow, that is Lynn's origin
I can
story.
really imagine that happening.
I want to know what happened to Madison now. I want to know the dates.
Well, maybe there's a part 3.
Maybe there's a
Maybe
part 3.
maybe we'll write a part 3. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
don't start promising shit like that. Next, I'm like, oh, fuck. Right, okay. Do you want a story from me?
No.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
My stories this week all have a theme, and I'd like you to guess what the theme is when I've done them.
Poo.
You're not a million miles away, and I can't believe you
Really?
just said that. You're really not that far away, no.
Oh, I thought you were shocked.
It's
and I was like,
toilets. It's toilets.
wow, I knew
That's
it.
mad, isn't it?
You've changed. Hope you know that.
What do you mean?
Oh, all this fucking episode 1 to 20 toilet talk.
Well, no one's covered in faeces. It just happens in a toilet.
I just think you've changed.
I hate toilet talk. I really hope I'm not going down that route. Oh, Jet2 holidays adverts just come up. I can't wait to go on
I
holiday.
can't wait to go on fucking
I can't
holiday.
wait to go on holiday.
Oh
Anyway,
my God.
I think we may have ADHD.
Yeah.
Okay then. A young man named Charlie got a new job with a cleaning company. He had to work all night cleaning office buildings after the executives had gone home. Because he was new to the job, he was being trained in by an old man named Zeke.
Zeke. Like short for Ezekiel.
Z-E-K-E. Zeke.
Yeah, I think so.
That's Zeke, isn't it?
Zeke.
Zeke. It's a very cool name, Zeke. I wouldn't be able to pull off a name like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One night,
Hannah.
Charlie... Hannah. One night. I wish I had something a bit more
That's a shame you don't have a
interesting.
Z in your name like me.
Well, Hannah
Oh.
Bitchkovsky, Z's in my surname.
Well, not in your first. Like me.
What, priest? That everyone
It's
goes,
not my first
priest,
name, dickhead.
priest. And you
It's
have to
a
go,
fucking-
no, priest.
Do you know what? It should be priest because I'm holier than all of that. Preach.
Getting her tits out for all and sundry.
Preach.
Now, I wish I had
God
something a bit
bless
more.
my
I do wish.
tits.
I mean, I'm quite pleased that I've got. Sometimes I'm pleased I've got a generic name. But wow,
No, I just wanted to sigh. That wasn't about you.
that's wow.
No. I just really needed to.
Sometimes
exhale.
I wish I had a generic. Like sometimes I'm quite pleased because, like, at least it's nothing mental, like Gallop. You know what I mean?
Do you want to laugh after you said that?
But yeah, I wish there was something a little bit more adventurous. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Hannah. Well, either way you say it, it's Hannah.
Hannah, Nahan,
Hannah forward, Hannah backward.
Nahan.
Great.
I always used to remember when you were young, you used to wish you had a name like Ashley or Brittany or something like that. Cause,
No, I didn't.
Oh, I did, because I always watched
I wanted
American
Sally.
shows. What?
Sally. I was
Like my
so
arch
upset I
enemy?
wasn't Sally. Oh, we said her name now.
No, that isn't a name. That was fake.
Interesting.
Anyway, okay. One night, Charlie and Zeke were cleaning the men's bathroom in the basement of a big office complex. That's the horror story. Piss on the floor. Suddenly, Charlie heard a loud scream coming from somewhere close by. He ran out of the bathroom and into the hallway. The screams were coming from the woman's bathroom next door, so Charlie opened the door and looked inside. There was a young woman standing there, weeping and clutching herself. Her clothes were torn. "Are you okay?" asked Charlie. "Someone's in the toilet," she screamed. "Someone grabbed me." Zeke appeared at the door and said, "Charlie, what the heck is going on?" Suddenly, all the sinks in the bathroom began spraying out water. With that, the young woman began crying and screaming hysterically. She rushed past Zeke, fleeing out the bathroom door. Charlie could see that one of the stalls in the Charlie could see that one of the stalls in the basement bathroom was closed. He approached it cautiously and peeked under the door. He couldn't see any feet. It was someone without any feet.
He could see the pads of the...
It was just a person with no feet. What's wrong, Charlie? Asked Zeke. Charlie gently pushed open the door. It slowly creaked open to reveal an empty cubicle. There was nobody there. Breathing a sigh of relief, Charlie went around to all the sinks and turned off all the taps. What was that about? Asked Zeke. I don't know, said Charlie. It's very strange. Something caused all those taps to start spraying out water. It's creepy. I heard stories, said Zeke. Years ago there was a murder in this office building. They told me it happened in the ladies' bathroom late at night. The basement bathroom. They say it's haunted and the murderer was never caught. I don't believe in ghosts, said Charlie. There has to be some logical explanation for why the taps in the sink suddenly turned on. It wasn't supernatural, but whatever it was, it scared that woman. Who? Asked Zeke. The woman who was screaming, she ran right past you. Zeke's eyes grew wide as he whispered, I didn't see any woman, Charlie. I didn't hear anyone screaming, and you and I are the only ones in the building.
Oh, goodness.
That really gives me the freaks, that. It really goes like...
You've seen something that no one else can see.
Well, you see something that seemed really normal. Like that man behind you, I'm thrilled that, like... that would be really scary. Just imagine if it was just like, what's that bloke doing there? Freddie started doing that so much more now. Just like, in my bedroom, the other day, he came into my room and he was like, hiya, at the wall. And he just wouldn't stop.
Yeah, he can see. I think you're riddled with ghosts.
I
in
must
your
be.
house.
Who waves at a wall and goes, I know, like he's a clever kid.
Yeah, no, he can see. He can see dead people.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
That was a little short one for you. From me to you.
This one is a creepy one. Not necessarily paranormal, but creepy as fuck.
Great.
Ready? This is a story that pops back in my mind from time to time. I've told it only to a few people, but I feel like it definitely deserves its place. For sure, it's one of the scariest moments I've ever had as a child. Back when I was around 10 years old, my mum finally decided that it was time for her to start taking her driver's licence. When she began taking lessons, she was struggling quite a lot, and for that reason, my dad decided that he wanted to do some practice with her besides the official driving lessons with her instructor, just to make sure that she'd pass the upcoming test first go. My little brother and I were attending swimming lessons at this nearby university at the time. Behind a forested area near the university lays this huge student parking area surrounded by trees, which turned out to be basically empty every weekend. My dad saw the opportunity to take my mum here to drive around for a bit and brought my little brother and I with them, since we were too young to stay home alone. We brought a football with us. When we arrived to the parking lot later on in the evening, my parents began their practice. My little brother and I quickly got bored though and asked if we could go over to this little grass field on the side of the parking lot to play some football. My parents let us since they'd always been able to keep their eyes on us whilst driving around. After playing for some time, my parents ended up driving around in the other end of the parking lot. They were approximately 400 metres away from my brother and I. Suddenly, this white Toyota pulls into the parking lot. We were playing almost right at the exit. The car turns round and stops on my right side, with the vehicle facing the exit. The driver rolls down his windows and presents himself as Thomas. He looked friendly, was good looking and young, I guess would be around 30. This is where things start to get weird.
Yeah.
On the passenger seat was a woman covering her face with a newspaper.
Oh.
All I could see was long blonde hair. And on the back seat was a baby sat eerily still in a baby chair.
No, thank you.
Thomas immediately states that he's from the police
I'd like you all to leave.
and that we have to get back in the car immediately as he has to talk to us. My brother actually took 2 steps towards the vehicle, but I stuck my arm in front of his chest as I was sensing something was off.
Oh, he wants him to get in his car? Absolutely fucking obvious.
Yeah. The woman was still covering her face with the newspaper and not saying a word. Thomas then raised his voice and told us once again to get in the car, else he'd have to come out and get us. My brother and I froze out of fear. Suddenly, the woman put down the newspaper, showed her face, and told us in the most calm, motherly voice, "Just listen to the man." The woman looked young, pretty, and like a person who wouldn't hurt a fly.
Fly.
And like a person who wouldn't hurt a fly. At this moment, I began screaming as loud as I could. What we hadn't seen at that point was my dad was already running as fast as he could towards us. He was coming from behind the vehicle, so we didn't see it. My parents didn't have time to drive to us since the road down the parking lot was twisted all the way. When my dad heard me scream, he started yelling as loud as he could, "Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck away from my children!" As soon as Thomas heard my dad and realised my brother and I weren't alone, he threw his car into gear and took off as fast as he could. He most definitely looked like a person who shat himself when he saw my dad. My dad was furious and he told my brother and I to hurry up and get back to the car. He didn't even think about calling the police at that point. He wanted to beat the guy up himself. That resulted in us driving around for the next hour trying to find him before my dad cooled down and decided that he should probably call the police. We never found out who these people were, but this episode taught me to never judge a book by its cover. People can be the most friendly looking people in the world and still wish evil upon you and the ones you love. I'm not sure what these people would have done to us. I'm sure one thing though, they definitely weren't from the police. The end. And also, I think that fucking baby wasn't real. I think it was a doll.
I'm confused.
What? Why?
Why
Potential
did she have a newspaper on her face?
Yes, she didn't want to be identified.
Oh.
But then when the guy was failing to get them in the car.
Oh, that is spooky, yeah.
Isn't that fucking horrible? And the idea
Yeah.
of a doll.
Yeah, well, do you remember years ago there was a spate of like people would put babies or like people would put dolls wrapped in thing and leave them on the side of the road so that you would pull over and get out and then you'd get jumped.
And then like they would attach it to a little speaker that would go
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And you'd be like, follow the baby.
As we say over and over again, just call the fucking police.
Do not be polite. Do not be polite. And well done on these kids' instincts.
Well
for being
done,
like
yeah.
something was off. I love that the little brother's
spooky.
like
that does sound also a woman. Oh, that's what makes it so much more sinister is that there's a woman involved.
Yeah, I know.
Because if it's a creepy bloke, like there are fucking loads of creepy blokes around, but when a woman gets it starts to really freak you out.
Go on, listen to the man. Get in.
Yeah. Look, we're just really nice people.
Fake baby.
With a doll. Okay, well that is fucking weird.
Yeah, I just thought, fucking put the willies up, yeah.
Put the willies up me. Don't want any willies up me, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Put your willy away. Carrick.
Book.
I can't wait to go to Carrick.
Check out Carrick.
By the way, have big plans. Big plans.
Oh, yeah, you're going on a little holiday,
I'm
going
on a little holiday to Ireland, going west, Wild Atlantic way, Atlantic.
Yeah, lovely.
Thing. And I might stay on and Hannah's going to come join me and we're going to fucking do a show in Ireland.
Yeah,
I can't guarantee it.
We're going to sort it out.
I think
we will.
Late September we're going
to
come
We can guarantee that
Ireland.
we will be doing a show in Ireland.
I reckon
at
Galway.
some point. I don't know. I think surely it has to be Dublin.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or Cork, because I fucking love it.
Carrick.
And then I'm going to fucking hurl you off the fucking the castle. I can't wait to do that.
The what?
Yeah, you're going to fucking
what do you mean?
hang off a castle, mate.
Why am I?
Because that's what you do. That's tradition and it's culture. Stop being so
What, people just throw themselves off
insensitive.
Castles in Ireland?
Yes, Hannah. And I'm going to get a fucking photo on
Are
a
you
key ring
talking
of it.
about the Blarney Stone?
Yeah.
But you didn't say that.
Yeah. Oh, you know about it?
Because I remember seeing your photo of it. And it is so funny. It's so funny. It's like, it's absolutely hilarious.
Honestly,
if you've ever seen a petrified duck, that's what Susie looked like.
Like
so
full
funny.
animal. So
funny.
that's where I'm taking
In fact, you need to find that photo, send it to Tim so he can splice it in. Okay, are you ready for another story that is also based in a loo?
Yes, please.
This was purely accidental. Why have you mashed up all those tarot cards? Were they like that?
No.
You're normally
I haven't done that.
You're normally very tidy.
I didn't do that. Yeah, I did. No, do you know what? It's because I needed to do that in order to get to the card I needed.
Right.
So don't question my methods.
I was worried because normally you're very neat and I was like, oh fuck, has that happened?
Oh, you've not seen my bedroom.
She'll take
We're like 13 again.
Absolutely petrifying. Is that how you come on to people? You haven't seen my bed.
You haven't seen my
bedroom. You
bedroom.
think I'm fucking tidy? You get in my bedroom. I'll show you a tidy bitch. Jesus. This is the story of what happened to me just 2 nights ago. I live alone in a 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, God, bliss. It was getting late and I decided to take a nice, relaxing bath before going to bed. But I did need to go to the toilet first. I was taking two before a bath.
Why?
Well, you need a little wee, don't you, before you get in the bath? When I lifted the lid of the toilet, I thought I saw something in the toilet bowl.
For fuck's sake, a floater.
No. Who said anything about... Your mind is filth.
No, it's not.
It looked like the shadow of a shit. No. It was the shadow
The ghost of my turd
the
that I deposited
Honestly,
only hours ago.
I think I've got something wrong. I think I've got some very severe dietary allergens because my bowels had an
Why?
exorcism the other day. It was outrageous.
What?
I think I've got this horrible feeling, and I don't want to admit to it, but I've got this horrible feeling. It might be something to do with dairy.
Oh no! Oh,
Yeah, I think it's got something to do with
no.
cheese, and I just can't.
Is it making you unwell?
Mm.
That's such a shame.
Well, me and Adam went for barcones, which is delicious.
Yeah.
And I had burrata with some meat. And then I had cacio pepe.
Yeah, cacio pepe.
And it's very, very cheesy and loads of parmesan and very creamy. And then this morning it was pretty bad.
Okay,
So
well, just cut it down a bit, but don't
want
deny
to.
yourself some halloumi.
I can't deny myself. I can't. I'd rather die.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so anyway, she saw the shadow of a poo. No, come on. We're better than this.
We are better than
We're
this.
better than
Drag
this.
yourself from the gutter and upwards,
It doesn't even
please.
say that. Right. I thought I saw something in the toilet bowl. It looked like the shadow of a person's head. Imagine.
It's
it took
Jesus.
It took a few... Have you seen those things going around where if you squint you can see Jesus? They're amazing. It took a few seconds for my eyes to adjust to the dim light. I realised it was the head of an old woman. Outrageous. Her eyes were closed and her hair was spread out and hanging over the sides of the toilet bowl like seaweed.
That's a horrible image.
I know. At first, I was too shocked to do anything. I thought, well, yeah, you would be really, wouldn't you? A head. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. I just stood there in my underwear staring down at it. How could anyone fit inside a toilet bowl? Was it a severed head? Was it a Halloween prop? All of a sudden, the woman's eyes opened. And she stared up at me. I was horrified. In shock, I slammed down the toilet lid. This is the funniest thing I've ever heard. I could hear a gurgling sound coming from under the lid. It sounded like muffled laughter. In a panic, I grabbed basins, brushes. Basins? More like sinks. I just grabbed all the sinks in my bathroom, brushes and shampoo bottles, and piled them on top of the toilet lid, trying to keep it trapped, and then I ran out of the bathroom and closed the door. I heard noises from the other side of the bathroom. It sounded like it was bumping against the toilet lid. I don't know what it was, but I knew it wasn't human. I was so scared that I ran out of the apartment wearing just my t-shirt and my pants. I ran downstairs, got a taxi, and raced over to the home of my female friend who lived nearby. I told her what I'd seen, but she didn't seem to believe me. When I calmed down, I even began to question myself. I stayed with her for a few hours, but around midnight, I decided to go back to the apartment. That's insane. Stay the night.
Yeah, keep
go for
that
brunch.
Medusa bitch far
Go
away.
and have some eggs. Well, not in Newcastle, but go and have some eggs
that
somewhere.
fucking or what's it called?
I can't stop thinking about that horrible brunch, to be honest with
I'm
you.
gutted we didn't complain and go full.
And
Karen.
I made some poached. I've been making poached eggs all week, and then fuck it, I've smashed them every single time. How hard is it to make fucking poached eggs? Anyway. And I asked her to come with me. When I turned the key in the lock and opened the door, the apartment seemed quiet and nothing was out of place. My friend was curious to see what had scared me. She opened the door of the bathroom. Everything was silent. All of the things I'd piled on the toilet lid had fallen on the floor. My friend lifted the toilet seat and peered inside. There was nothing there. No woman, not even a stray hair. She shut the lid again. I was still creeped out, so I asked my friend to stay for a while, just in case. Oh. Then I noticed something nasty. Made me sick to my stomach. Protruding from under the rim of the toilet were long tufts of wet hair. My friend noticed them too. She reached out cautiously and opened the lid of the toilet. The old woman's face was there, staring up at her. She opened her mouth and began gnashing her teeth. Clack, 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 clack. In a high-pitched voice, she started laughing.
Very good. Get her a BAFTA.
As she laughed, her wrinkled skin shook and jiggled. Her black hair shifted and moved like hundreds of tiny snakes. My friend let out a scream and slammed the lid shut, holding it down.
I did say Medusa. Snaky hair.
She reached out and pulled the lever with one hand. There was a swirl of water and the jarring laughter was drowned out by the sound of the toilet flushing. We waited, afraid to breathe. The flushing sound stopped and the water started circling back into the cistern. I can't believe I'm trying to make a severed head in a toilet sound scary. My friend opened the lid and the toilet bowl was empty. We were both shaking. She left the lid open and told me not to close it ever. My friend decided to go home. Imagine, don't close that.
See you later.
I'll see you for lunch next week. See you at netball practice. My friend decided to go home, leave me alone in the apartment. I slept in the hallway outside of the toilet, clutching a knife. The next day, I unscrewed the toilet lid and took it off. Ever since then, I've been too afraid to go into the toilet. I'm terrified that I'll sit down on ball to do my business, and when I'm finished, I'll look down and see that woman's gnarled and wrinkled face staring up at me. Shit on her face.
Yeah. Well,
imagine.
No. Okay,
imagine.
That makes me think of a true crime story, right? There was a bloke in Japan who was discovered, his body was found in the cistern of this toilet pipe.
What?
Yeah. And it was like this, I think it was like some girl's like bottom apartment, like toilet cistern. And what he'd done, he had burrowed under the building. He'd crawled through the cistern so he could peer up at her.
Fuck
because
off.
he had a very specific fetish. He wanted her to pee on him, and he got stuck, and he died. And his body was found trapped in the pipe, and he couldn't find his way out.
That is horrific.
Yeah, and they've done all these like sketches of how it could have happened because they were like poor guy, maybe he'd have got trapped, and everyone's like, but how could he have got there? And people are like, he fell down the loo. And it's like, the only way it could have happened is if he had purposefully, literally hauled his way either in through the bottom.
That is horrific.
Horrific. And like, when they pieced it all together, they were like, oh my God, what a tragic accident. And then they went, hang on, this guy has lowered himself in. Literally, like, and he did this a few times successfully. And then he got stuck.
But how can you see? How do they know he did it successfully?
I think he was messaging this girl again and again and again, being like, I watch you. Da, da, da. He was a bit of a stalker.
Oh my God.
And then she realised one day she went to the loo. She was peeing. She was like, I think there's something. Like she couldn't quite see. She was like, I think there's something down there.
Oh,
yeah.
What? So hang on. How can you? I couldn't fit my head in there.
No, but it was like, I don't think it's like a normal loo. I think it was like one of those like
that is
dark.
fucking
I know, and she saw something down there. She was like, "Oh my God, something smells bad." She was like, "But it's a loo,"
toilet,
and then she reported
and that's
it.
the dead thing.
And then he was there, looking up at her. I've actually got shivers thinking about that.
I don't think I would ever go to the toilet again.
Mm-hmm.
I would elect for a colostomy bag.
Yeah, fucking horrendous.
That is horrible.
Yeah.
I would imagine. I've always been freaked out by that, but like they imagine there's something just nipping up and
just a little man looking, waiting,
mouth
open.
Pissy
that's
toilets.
his fetish. But you know what? That fetish came to bite him in the asshole, and he's dead now.
Well,
so,
that is
isn't
horrific.
It? What a way to go! And just dying, like just wasting away.
God, we deal in light-hearted scares. That was horrible.
Would you like a creep of the week?
Yes, please.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
Oh, Tim, you just sent us the man under the toilet. Yeah, there he is. Oh my God, please look it up. Type in man under toilet, the Fukushima toilet mystery.
So hang on, is he next door?
Look at that. That's
is he next door to her or something?
Yeah.
I can't see that one actually. It won't let me.
Anyway, it's
that
horrible.
is fucking disgusting.
I know. Sorry to bring it up. Right.
Oh, was it a small village? So was he next door?
Hannah, you've got to look it up.
I don't want to.
Wow.
I'm fucking.
Okay,
I'm never going to be able to go through again. Yes, please.
Creep of the week.
Yeah. I do need a wee as well.
Creep of the week. Creep of the week. Creep of the week. Okay. I don't think I'm going to read out the title of this because it's fucking creepy and it will give away
Go on then, hit me
the
with
worst
it.
part.
Go.
Okay. This is from, I can't see, I think she's okay with me, so I'll just say Kate.
Let's
This is from
go.
Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate. Hon.
Hello, Hannah and Susie and Hannah. Me and two of my best friends have been listening to the pod since Christmas.
Gorge.
I thought it was time to send one of our own experiences in. We sent it to Barney and he said it's terrifying. Throwback.
People have found Barney.
Oh my God.
You're a bunch of stalkers.
Yeah.
Joking, but not really.
Hope you enjoy. We have loads more to tell, but we thought we'd start with a little one that isn't as scary as some of the others, the story. I've always been a skeptic of the supernatural. It started when I was a little girl. I used to see two children holding hands in my doorway, a boy and a girl.
So hang on, so she isn't a skeptic then?
Don't know. I guess was until this happened.
Right.
I used to see two children holding hands in my doorway, a boy and a girl. Their faces remained unknown, blobs morphing in restricted movement, but I knew they were there. I'd scream, go away at them, but they'd always stay until my tears ran dry and I'd fall back asleep. A few instances occurred. Within the past year alone, I've moved bedrooms because of the man in my doorway. The summer of 2023, I saw him most nights lurking in the shadows of the hallway outside my room. My room is the middle floor of a 5-bedroom home. To put it into context, my room is between two sets of stairs. One leads to the attic loft conversion and the other to the downstairs hallway. The dark has always consumed me, the suffocating lurking of the unknown. I suppose that's why I slept with the hall light on for so long. He'd always appear at 4:05 a.m.
That's disgusting.
His silhouette at the top of the stairs, watching, waiting for the right moment to reach me. I began covering mirrors in my room after reading that having a mirror across from your bed provides a vortex of some kind. I guess it was just something to put my mind at ease. Perhaps I could convince myself it was all in my head. That was until he would visit my mum, too. She'd tell me stories how a man would appear in the dead of night, when it was two of us in a small cottage all those years ago. Lurking, he'd follow us from a cottage to our semi-detached house. That's when the children appeared too, but as I grew older, I almost forgot about it until one day my best friend Jess mentioned a similar experience she had as a child. She would also see strange things. She would describe instances of a tall, dark, shadowy man in the corner of her childhood home. Crying, she would tell her parents that there in the corner of her small room was a bad man. The occurrence only died down after her grandmother performed some traditional rituals to sever the attachment she'd gained. Years later, we would both come home to find that perhaps the things we once saw may never have fully gone away, waiting patiently for the right time to bite back. After some time, I moved back to my own room, this time keeping my door shut, and two small lights next to my bed casting shadows in the room, serving as a comfort that it was just me and my books. However, as I tossed and turned at 4 a.m, I'd feel a feeling of fear in my stomach, telling me to leave. I tried my best to ignore it. 5 minutes later, he appeared through my shut door.
Oh.
His face morphed with wood. He was peeking at me, like Lynn. Then, after staring back, telling myself I was only sleeping, I drifted back to sleep. I'd awake the next night, his body through the door, though he still remained stuck, glaring at me with storms in his eyes. I shrugged it off. At this point, I'd grown used to his presence, feeling protected by the light. The following night, 4:05 a.m. struck. He was at the end of my bed. He was getting quicker, smoother in his movement. For the first time in weeks, I felt fear. I was paralysed, trapped under his gaze as he smiled at me. Glad that he got through. I awoke the final night, afraid of what I might find. The head of a smiling man laid next to me.
Oh!
My fight or flight kicked in and I could move, which ruled out any possibility of it being a night terror. My fist raised, punching the man in the face. A pillow flew across my room, slamming into the door. I spoke to Jess the following day, explaining what had happened, and Jess had told me of the time her mother had suggested she leave open scissors under her pillow at night. This is dangerous and I do not recommend it, but being a skeptic, I tried it. Sure enough, bad man had disappeared, and I do speculate if it's all psychology in my mind. Perhaps the thought that I was protected and I wouldn't see beings in the doorway. However, as I was drifting off to sleep, a matter of days later, finally feeling at peace and ready to have a good night's rest in months, I felt his body towering over mine as the hushed whisper in my ear said, "It's Elliot."
Oh.
From Kate, Jess and Laura.
Thanks, Kate, Jess and Laura. That's spooky as fuck. I mean, I have woken up to a few mingers next to me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a couple of Elliots, you know what I mean?
Oh, Elliot. Actually, I did have a bit of a dalliance with an Elliot once.
Elliots are naughty.
They are naughty, aren't they? They are naughty. Well, we were just before we started reading that, somebody sent us a message, Lindsay. She's said she's just drying her hair and she's watching our Patreon episode at Bosworth Hall with Psychic Tracy.
What, the one that you can find at www.patreon.com/ghosthunts?
Weird that you say that because that's the exact one. That's the exact one where you can find it.
Go on.
But you know, this happens quite a lot with the Bosworth Hall Psychic Tracy one. She says she's found, like, it keeps, look at this, subtitles have started coming on over and over again in Welsh.
Again?
This happens.
We've got a Welsh ghost attached to us.
So I'm going to read out a message that she said. Weirdest thing is happening. I'm watching Patreon whilst drying my hair, as you do, and the subtitles keep flicking between a different language. I think it's Welsh. But not just that, it's repeating itself over and over and over again. Hoping it's just a technical issue, but I'm also slightly
read out what it is, because if we've got any Welsh speakers listening, they can write in and tell us what it is.
Rensi wai wedi gweld if men are young faith wai mind. That's
right.
literally what it says.
Screenshot it, send it to Tim, and we can edit it in.
I've done that already.
Okay. So
that's mad, isn't it? That's
weird.
Mad. I know.
Can you read
Lindsay.
out just to me? Read out one word and how it's spelled.
Okay, it is
because I'm Welsh. Remember
RWY''N.
Ruin.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to say. You tell me what it means.
I'm not going to tell you.
Right, great.
Okay, great. Shall I do a little haunted so you don't have to?
Yes, please. Oh, before we do,
no.
Can we just, because we're doing telepathy, aren't we? This week. I just wanted to test another little telepathy out with you. We're going to do a couple. We've got 5 minutes. So I'm going to pick 3 cards.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm going to do this 3 times. And I'm going to read you out the cards that I've got. And I want you to tell me which one is the one that I'm thinking about. So I'm going to read you out all these 3 cards, and then I'm going to put one in my mind.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me which one I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got the 3 of Swords, which is the swords standing over the bloke. We've got the 3 of Swords, which are stuck into a heart, and then we've got.
Hang on, 2, 3 of Swords.
Yeah, there are 3 swords in each one. Oh, sorry, sorry. I've got the 4 of Swords. I've got the 3.
What?
How weird is this? I've just randomly picked 3 cards up, and I've got the 4 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, and the 2 of Swords.
Oh my god, that's like if we were playing for money in poker, you'd be fucking.
I'd win. What? How? Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
So I've got so which one am I thinking of? I've got the 4, the 3, and the 2. Which one am I thinking of?
Okay, well, are you thinking of it?
Send it to you. This is good podcasting.
Hang on. I'm getting it. Everyone can think about this.
Send it over to you. Which one do you think I'm thinking of? And I won't lie.
4.
3. So.
I was going to say 3.
It was 3. Right,
no,
listen.
I was going to say 3.
We've got to do another 2 because it's the 3 of the 3.
No, I was going to say 3 and I'm annoyed with myself. I just went for 4 at the last minute.
It's the 3 of the 3. So you've got a. So this is. So the next 2 you're going to get, right? So here we have. This is also weird. I've now got all major arcanas, I think.
I think you should play poker tonight.
So yeah, maybe I should. So I've got
buy
Judgment.
A scratch card at least.
Yeah, Judgment, Knight of Pentacles, and the World. Which one am I thinking of?
Judgment.
No, the World. Right, one more go. And this one, what you're going to get, right?
Again, I did think it.
Right, okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
And really think about it, Hannah.
Weird, again, I've got the fucking tarot that I picked.
What is it?
On. That's the 10 of Pentacles, Death, and Queen of Swords.
10 of Pentacles, Death, and the Queen of Swords.
Yeah. Think about it.
Queen.
Yes!
Yeah, I knew it.
See, that's why you have to do the 3. That's why you have to do the 3 of the 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
and now I'm going to come round and do one on you.
Okay.
You know how this works.
I'm going to come round and do one on you. Don't threaten me with a good time. Do you know what I
mean? Titties. Okay. Oh, showers in the vicinity. Thank you, phone. Right. I'm going to come behind you.
No consent has been asked. Let me just.
And then I'm gonna do that thing where you have to shut your eyes, and when I'm looking at you, you have to say into the mic if you think I'm looking.
I'm looking forward to this.
So am I.
Because I'm so witchy. There's no cameras by me, is there now? Okay, great. Okay. Ooh, I'm freaked out. Don't make me jump, please.
Right. Okay. So, no, I'm not. I'm going to tell you when.
What, are you going to tell me when we start?
When we start.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So 3, 2, 1. Shut your eyes.
Yeah. Now.
No.
Fuck.
Okay. Ready to go again.
Yeah. Now.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to do one more time? Now.
Yes.
Was it
Oh
dead on when you moved?
Yeah.
That's weird.
No, honestly, when you watch that back,
Was it?
when
You've
watch
gone
back,
like that now.
Yeah, like bang
I
on.
am
I
so
think
spooky.
because the more time we spend with each other, the more our shared consciousness happens.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. And
It's like
we
sinking minds and periods.
Yeah, and periods. When was your last period?
Oh, fucking feels like I'm always on a period.
I'm
due
literally
on.
about to end.
Oh, well, we've unsynced then.
Oh.
I don't think I am due on. I think I've... Oh, fuck knows. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for this week's Ghost Hunt.
Much.
Just a quick reminder, if you want some merch, it's official merch. You've got a cap, you've got sweatshirt, you've got t-shirt. What better way of spending summer than wearing all those items of clothing? Also, you've only got 2 weeks left. No, about 1 week now. You have 1 week.
Yeah.
Once these are gone, they are gone. They are not coming back.
And they are super comfy,
the cap
great
is
quality.
so chic.
And imagine that cap with a white t-shirt and
it's
your denim
embroidered.
shorts. Can
It's
you
not
imagine that?
Yeah.
You look fucking amazing.
Look cool as fuck.
Honestly.
I'm taking mine on my holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Taking mine on my fucking holidays, mate.
Of course you fucking
I am.
are.
Of course I am.
Take that merch abroad.
Take it
so,
abroad.
guys, get yourself a little
Send us
PC.
pictures of you in your merch for us to repost, please. Send us...
Well, no, because it's going to be delivered in early June. Just FYI.
Well, send us a picture anyway, and we
Yeah.
will repost it. When you get it, it's coming. Anyway, thank you so much. We love you all.
Love you.
Bye, 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 bye,
Bye,
bye.
everyone.
Gorgeous.